संसार धावा ललितलोका त्रणय कारुण्य घन घनात्वम् त्रणय कारुण्य प्राप्तस्य कल्याणं गुणार्णवस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् महाप्रभु कीर्तन नित्य गीता वादित्य माद्य मनसोरसेना रोमांशकाम्पा श्रुतरङ्गभाजो वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् श्रीविग्रहाराधन नित्यनाना शृङ्गारतन्मन्दिरमार्जनादो युक्तस्य भक्तां नियुञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् चतुर्विधा श्रीभगवत्प्रसादा स्वादन्यतृप्तां हरिभक्तसङ्घम्
चतुर्विधा श्रीभगवत्प्रसादा स्वादन्यतृप्तां हरिभक्तसङ्घम्
कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजता सदैव वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् श्रीराधिका माधवयोरपार माधुर्यलीला गुणरूपनाम्नाम् प्रतिक्षणास्वादनपोलुपस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् प्रतिक्षणास्वादनलोलुपस्य निकुञ्जयूनोरतिकेलिसिद्धै यायालिभिर्युक्तिरपेक्षणीया तत्रादिदाक्षाततिवल्लभास्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् साक्षाद्धरित्वेना समस्तशास्त्रे युक्तस्तथा भाव्यत एव शब्दी किन्तु प्रभोर्यः प्रिय एव तस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादात् न गति कुतोऽपि दयां भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादान्नगति ध्यायांस्तु वांस्तस्य यशश्रीसन्ध्यं वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय राधा नील माधव राधा नील माधव राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
Jai Vishnupada Brahmamsa Padakacharya Stota Shata Shishmat His Divine Grace Aparchana Rinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON BBTPI Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Vishnupada Brahmamsa Padakacharya Stota Shata Shishmat His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Premi se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Kili Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvipa Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Shri Purushottam Chaitar Jagnapuri Dham Ki Jai Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Harinama Sankirtana Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlada Lada Daine Hiranya Kashi Purvakshaha Shilatankanakalahaye हितो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बाहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहम् अदिं शरणं पपदे तव करवमलवरे नाकाम् अबुदशृङ्गा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनवृङ्गा केशवदीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे कर कम परे नाकाम अबुद श्रृंगा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनवृंगा केशवदीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवदीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवदीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय नरसिंहदेव की जय नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः
नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः। राधा कृष्ण सेवा पाबो ए अभिलाषी। राधा कृष्ण सेवा पाबो ए अभिलाषी। जे तुम्हारा शरण लो तारा वंच पूर्णा हो। कृपा कोरी कोरो तारे वृंदावनवासी। मोरा ये अभिलाष विलास कुंज दियो वास। नयने हरिबो सदा युगल रूपराशि। ए निवेदन धारो सखीरनुगत करो। सेवाधिकार दिए करो निज दासी। ये न मोरा होय। श्री राधा गोविंदा प्रेमे सदा ये न भासी। श्री राधा गोविंदा प्रेमे सदा ये न भासी। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशव सचा विष्णु भक्ति प्रति देवे सत्यवताय नमो नमः। श्री वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशव सचा विष्णु भक्ति प्रति देवे सत्यवताय नमो नमः। श्री वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशव सचा कृष्ण भक्ति प्रति देवे सत्यवताय नमो नमः। वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय।
Also grant me residence in the precious groves of Shiva and down the town. Thus within my vision shall always behold the beautiful paths of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me follow Kara Danto's virgin. Please give me the privilege devotional service and make me own maid servant. This very fallen lowly servant of Krishna prays. May I always swim in the love, Shishi Radha and Govinda, Srimati Tulasi Maharani ki jai. There are 10 fences in the matter chant holy names should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated lives for propagating holy name the Lord. 2. To consider name the demigods Lord Shiva or Brahma to be equal to independent to name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature pursuant the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to holy name the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities, offering the Veda the fruity activities, Karma, Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about glorious holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments in understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to Vaishnava must have regarding these 10 fences in order to quickly achieve desired success. Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisance unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just deities who can fulfill to everyone their full compassion for the fallen conditioned soul. Shri Chaitanya Shastakam Ki Jai. Jeto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahatavagni Nirvapanam Shriya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamita Sadhanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etatishi Tavakripa Bhagavam Mamapi Durudevami Disham Iha Janina Nurakaha Trinatapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadaharihi Na Thanam Na Janam Na Sundarim Kavitam Vajakadisha Kamaye Mama Jammani Jammanishvare Bhavata Bhaktir Haituki Toyi Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthitaturi Satesham Vichintaya Nayanam Karadashuru Daraya Vatanam Katkata Rudaya Kira Pulakai Nishitam Vapurkata Tava Nama Karhane Bhavishati Yuga itam nimishena chakshusha pravisha itam shunya itam jagasarvam govinda virahe name ashrisha va padratam pinnashtumam adarsanam marmahatam karotu va yatha tatha va vitatha lampato madprana nathastu sa eva na paraha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Shastakam Ki Jai. Glory to Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes fire of conditional life, repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is prime benediction of humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases ocean transcendental bliss enables to fully taste the nectar for which always anxious. Oh my Lord, your holy name alone grants all benediction human beings. Thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have vested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out kindness enables us to easily approach you by holy names, but I'm so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking himself Lord than a straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers, only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maranjananda Krishna, I'm an eternal servitor, yet somehow I fall in the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me at one of the Adam's and lotus feet. O my Lord, while my eyes bedeck with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name, while my voice choke up and hairs my body stand anticipation of your name. O Govinda, feeling of separation becomes a moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from my eyes are torrents of rain, and I feel all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord. He shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shastakam Ki Jai. Shri Mangala Aarti prayers Ki Jai. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshung Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kata Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Ragnatang Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamshcha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Bhajatya Desha Tarine Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Ti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhavin Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premadha Shri Rupa Nuka Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Mutaye Dinatarine Rupa Nuka Viruta Pasiddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sashad Vairagya Mutaye Vipralamba Rasam Bodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupa Nuka Varayate Gaura Virabhava Bhumistvam Nirdishta Sajana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarabhauma Shri Jaganathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpa Tarupyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishin Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Surathor Pangor Mama Manda Mater Gati Masarva Swapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vindaranya Kalpadrumada Shimadra Nagara Sinhasanastho Shimadratha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtaribi Sevyamano Smarami Shiman Rasa Rasarambi Vamshiva Tatatastitaha Karsham Venu Saner Gopir Gopinatha Shiyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Mangala Chana prayers ki jai Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satmasukappaviksha Lakshaviteshu Surabi Rabi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasa Shatasam Brahmasevymanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venun Kavanantama Ravinda Talayataksam Parhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kantarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chantaka Lasa Vanamade Vamshi Ranangadam Panayakeri Kalavilasam Shamanti Banga Lalitam Yata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chimmaya Sadujala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achotam Anadi Mananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Shatavassara Samprakamyo Vayorathapi Manaso Munipangavanan Sophiyasti Yapapata Simya Vichinta Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopya Sara Chayitum Jagatanta Kotim Yachakti Rasti Jagatanta Chayaya Dantaha Antantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yad Bhava Bhavitadiyo Manujasta Teva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasana Yana Bhushaha Suktayam Eva Nigama Patitai Stuvanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chimme Rasa Patibhavitapis Tapya Evan Jarupa Taya Kalapihi Goloka eva nivasate khilatma bhuto Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Premanjana churuta bhakti vilochanena Santa sadeva hitayeshu vilokayanti Yam shama sundam achintya guna swarupam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Ramadi murtishu kalaniyamena tishtan Nanavataram Puvanishu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhava Parama Pumam Yo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the Supreme Godhead, has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin and the prime cause of all causes.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in abodes, built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers, beautified with the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending form of Shyamsundara is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs, and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universe as both the spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha. Yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane extending over thousands of millions of years.
He is an undifferentiated entity, and there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord who I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men, who are imbued with devotion, sing the mantra suktas told by the Vedas, by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyances, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities, in the company of her confidantes, Sakhis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Son of the Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their hearts, with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the forms of Rama, Narsimha, Vamana, etc., as his subjective portions. Shri Brahma Samhita ki Jai.
Bhagavad Gita 7.1 purport. Srinvatam swakata Krishna punya sravana kirtanaha hridayanta histo hi apatrani vidunoti suhritsatam nasta prayesva abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya भागवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैस्तिकी तदा राजस्तमो भावा कामा लोभास्दयाश्च ये चेत एतैरनावेदं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति एवं प्रसन्नमनसो भगवद्भक्तियोगतः भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गश्च जायते विद्यते हृदयग्रन्थेश्चिद्यन्ते सर्वसमस्याः क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टा एवात्मनीश्वरे.
To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best fishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him.
In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge as he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam, and from the devotees he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord.
By development of devotional service, one becomes free.
By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished.
When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the signs of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Asamsayam Samagram, understanding of the supreme absolute truth personality of Godhead. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the signs of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
We'll continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, texts 26 to 29. Nabosota vikurvanad abhut sparsha guno nilaha paran vayach chabdavamsha prano oja saho balam vayor api vikurvanad kala karma swabhavatah udapadyata tejo vai रूपवात् स्पर्श संभवात् तेजासास्तु विकुरवानात् आसीत् अम्बोरसात्मकां रूपवात् स्पर्शवाक् चाम्बो गोसवाच्चा परान्वयात् विशेषास्तु विकुर्वनात् अम्बसो गन्धवान् अभूत् परान्वयाद् रसास्पर्शा Sabdharupa gunanvitaha Nabasha of the sky Atha thus Vikurvanat being transformed Abhut generated Sparsha touch Gunaha quality Anila air Para previous Anvayat by succession Sabdhavan full of sound Cha also Pranah life Oja sense perception Saha fat Bhalam strength, Vayo of the air, Api also Vikurvanat by transformation, Kala time, Karma reaction of the past, Swabhavataha on the basis of nature, Udapatyata generated, Teja fire, Vai duly, Rupavat with form, Sparsha touch, Sabdhavat with sound also, Tejashaha of the fire, 2 but Vikurvanat of being transformed. Asit it so happened. Amba water. Rasa atmakam composed of juice. Rupavat with form. Sparshavat with touch. Cha and amba water. Gosavat with sound. Cha and para previous. Anvayat by succession. Vishesha variegatedness. 2 but Vikurvanat by transformation. Ambasaha of water. Gandhavan, odorous, Abhut became, Para previous, Anvayat by succession, Rasa juice, Sparsha touch, Sabda sound, Rupa guna anvitaha qualitative. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Because the sky is transformed, the air is generated with the quality of touch, and by previous succession, the air is also full of sound and the basic principles of duration of life, sense perception, mental power, and bodily strength. When the air is transformed in course of time and nature's course, fire is generated, taking shape with a sense of touch and sound. Since fire is also transformed, there is a manifestation of water, full of juice and taste. As previously, it also has form and touch and is also full of sound and water. And water, being transformed from all variegatedness on earth, appears odorous and as previously becomes qualitatively full of juice, touch, sound, and form respectively. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The whole process of creation is an act of gradual evolution and development from one element to another, reaching up to the variegatedness of the earth, so as so many trees, plants, mountains, rivers, reptiles, birds, animals, and varieties of human beings. The quality of sense perception is also evolutionary, namely generated from sound, then touch, and from touch to form. Taste and odor are also generated along with the gradual development of sky, air, fire, water, and earth. They are all mutually the cause and effect of one another. But the original cause is the Lord Himself in plenary portion, as Mahavishnu lying in the causal water of the Mahat Tattva. As such, Lord Krishna is described in the Brahma Samhita as the cause of all causes. And this is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 10.8 as follows. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. The qualities of sense perception are fully represented in the earth, and they are manifested in other elements to a lesser extent. In the sky there is sound only, whereas in the air there are sound and touch. In the fire there are sound, touch, and shape. And in the water there is taste also, along with the other perceptions, namely sound, touch, and shape. In the earth, however, there are all the above mentioned qualities with an extra development of order also. Therefore, on the earth there is a full display of variegatedness of life, which is originally started with the basic principle of air. Diseases of the body take place due to derangement of air within the earthly body of the living beings. Mental diseases result from special derangement of the air within the body. And as such, yogic exercise is specifically beneficial to keep the air in order so that diseases of the body become almost nil by such exercises. When they are properly done, the duration of life also increases, and one can have control over death also by such practices. A perfect yogi can have command over death and quit the body at the right moment, when he is competent to transfer him to a suitable planet. The Bhakti Yoga, however, surpasses all the yogis because by dint of his devotional service, he is promoted to the region beyond the material sky and is placed in one of the planets in the spiritual sky by the supreme will of the Lord, the controller of everything.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, Text 30. Vaikarikan mano jagne deva vaikarika dasha digvatarka parchetoshvi vahnin dropendra mitraka. Vaikarikat, from the mode of goodness. Mana, the mind. Jagne, generated. Deva, demigods. Vaikarika, in the mode of the goodness. Dasha, 10. Dik, the controller of directions. Vata, the controller of air. Arka, the sun. Pracheta, Varuna. Ashvi, the Ashwini Kumaras. Vani, the fire god. Indra, the king of heaven. Upendra, the deity in heaven. Mitra, one of the 12 Adityas. Ka, Prajapati Brahma. Translation. From the mode of goodness, the mind is generated and becomes manifest, as also the 10 demigods controlling the bodily movements. Such demigods are known as the controller of directions, the controller of air, the sun god, the father of Daksha Prajapati, the Ashwini Kumaras, the fire god, the king of heaven, the worshipable deity in heaven, the chief of the Adityas, and Brahmaji, the Prajapati. All come into existence. Purport. Vaikarika is the neutral stage of creation, and Tejas is the initiative of creation, while Tamas is the full display of material creation. under the spell of the darkness of ignorance. Manufacture of the necessities of life in factories and workshops, excessively prominent in the age of Kali or in the age of the machine, is the summit stage of the quality of darkness. Such manufacturing enterprises by human society are in the mode of darkness because factually there is no necessity for the commodities manufactured. Human society primarily requires food for subsistence, shelter for sleeping, defense for protection, and commodities for satisfaction of the senses. The senses are the practical science of life, as will be explained in the next verse. Human civilization is meant for purifying the senses, and objects of sense satisfaction should be supplied as much as absolutely required, but not for aggravating artificial sensory needs. Food, shelter, defense, and sense gratification are all needs in material existence. Otherwise, in his pure, uncontaminated state of original life, the living entity has no such needs. The needs are therefore artificial, and in the pure state of life, there are no such needs. As such, increasing artificial needs, as is the standard of material civilization, or advancing the economic development of human society, is a sort of engagement in darkness without knowledge. By such engagement, human energy is spoiled, because human energy is primarily meant for purifying the senses in order to engage them in satisfying the senses of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord, being the supreme possessor of spiritual senses, is the master of the senses, Rishikesha. Rishika means the senses, and Isha means the master. The Lord is not the servant of the senses, or in other words, he is not directed by the dictation of the senses, but the conditioned souls or the individual living entities are servants of the senses. They are conducted by the direction or dictation of the senses, and therefore material civilization is a kind of engagement in sense gratification only. The standard of human civilization should be to cure the disease of sense gratification, and one can do this simply by becoming an agent for satisfying the spiritual senses of the Lord. The senses are never to be stopped in their engagements, but one should purify them by engaging them in pure service of sense gratification of the master of the senses. This is the instruction of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna wanted first of all to satisfy his own senses by his decision not to fight with his kinsmen and friends, but Lord Sri Krishna taught him the Bhagavad Gita just to purify Arjuna's decision for sense gratification. Therefore, Arjuna agreed to satisfy the sense of the Lord, and thus he fought the battle of Kurukshetra as the Lord desired. The Vedas instructed us to get rid of the existence of darkness and go forward on the path of light. Tamasima Jyotirtama. The path of light is therefore to satisfy the senses of the Lord. Misguided men or less intelligent men follow the path of self-realization without any attempt to satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord by following the path shown by Arjuna and other devotees of the Lord. On the contrary, they artificially try to stop the activities of the senses, that is yoga system, or they deny the transcendental senses of the Lord, Jnana system. The devotees, however, are above the yogis and the jnanis, because pure devotees do not deny the sense of the Lord. They want to satisfy the sense of the Lord. Only because of the darkness of ignorance do the yogis and jnanis deny the sense of the Lord and thus artificially try to control the activities of the diseased senses. In the diseased condition of the senses, there is too much engagement of the senses in increasing material needs. When one comes to see the disadvantage of aggravating the sense activities, one is called a gnani. And when one tries to stop the activities of the senses by the practice of yogic principles, he is called a yogi. But when one is fully aware of the transcendental senses of the Lord and tries to satisfy his senses, one is called a devotee of the Lord. The devotees of the Lord do not try to deny the senses of the Lord, nor do they artificially stop the actions of the senses, but they do voluntarily engage the purified senses in the service of the master of the senses, as was done by Arjuna, thereby easily attaining the perfection of satisfying the Lord, the ultimate goal of all perfection.
Canto 2, Chapter 5, Text 31. Taijasat tu विकुर्वाणादिन्द्रियाणि दशा भवन् ज्ञानशक्तिः शक्तिः क्रियाशक्तिर् गृह्णातृजिह्वा वाग्दो but vikurvanat transformation of indriyani, the senses, dasha, 10, abhava, generated, jnana shakti, the five senses for acquiring knowledge, kriya shakti, the five senses of activities, buddhi, intelligence, prana, the living energy, cha, also, taijashu, all products of the mode of passion, shrotram, the sense of hearing, tvak, the sense of touching, grihana, the sense of smelling, drik, the sense of seeing, jihva, the sense of tasting, vak, the sense of speaking, the sense for speaking, dokh, the sense for handling, medra, the genitals, angry, legs, ayava, formation of the mode of passion, the sense organs like the ears, skin, nose, eyes, tongue, mouth, hands, genitals, legs, and the outlet for evacuating together with intelligence and living energy are all generated. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The living condition in material existence depends more or less on one's intelligence and powerful living energy. Intelligence to counteract the hard struggle for existence by manipulating the active organs like the hands and legs. But on the whole, the struggle for existence is an exertion of the mode of passion. Therefore, all the sense organs headed by intelligence and the living energy, prana, are different products and byproducts of the second mode of nature called passion. This mode of passion, however, is the product of the air element as described before.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, Text 32. Yada ite sangata bhava bhupendriya manogunaha yadayantana nirmane nashe kur brahma vittama yada, as long as ite, all these, sankataha, without being assembled, bhava, remains so situated, bhuta, elements, indriya, senses, manaha, mind, guna, mode of nature, yada, so long, ayatana, the body, nirmane, is being formed, nasikuhu, was not possible, brahmavittama, O Narada, the best knower of transcendental knowledge. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Narada, best of the transcendental is, the forms of the body cannot take place as long as these created parts, namely the elements, senses, mind, and modes of nature are not assembled. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The different types of body construction of the living entities are exactly like different types of motor cars manufactured by assembling the allied motor parts. When the car is ready, the driver sits in the car. When the car is ready, the driver sits in the car and moves it as he desires. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 18.61. The living entity is as if seated on the machine of the body, and the car of the body is moving by the control of material nature, just as the railway trains are moving under the direction of the controller. The living entities, however, are not the bodies. They are separate from the cars of the body. But the less intelligent material scientists cannot understand the process of assembling parts of the body, namely the senses, the mind, and the qualities of the material modes. Every living entity is a spiritual spark, part and parcel of the Supreme Being. And by the kindness of the Lord, for the Father is kind to his sons, the individual living beings are given a little freedom to act according to their will to lord it over the material nature. Just as a father gives some playthings to the crying child to satisfy him, the whole material creation is made possible by the will of the Lord to allow the bewildered living entities to lord it over things as they desire, although under the control of the agent of the Lord. The living entities are exactly like small children playing the material field under the control of the maid servant of the Lord nature. They accept the Maya or the maid servant as all in all and thus wrongly conceive the supreme truth to be feminine, goddess Durga, etc. The foolish shailing materialist cannot reach beyond the conception of the maid servant. Material nature, but the intelligent grown up sons of the Lord know well that all the acts of material nature are controlled by the Lord, just as the maid servant is under the control of the master, and the father of the undeveloped child. The parts of the body, such as the senses, are the creation of the Mahatattva, and when they are assembled by the will of the Lord, the material body comes into existence, and the living entity is allowed to use it for further activities. This is explained as follows.
Text 33 and 2 chapter 5. Tada samhatya chanyonyam bhagavajati todita sadasatam Bhagavajati chodita sadasatam upadaya cho bayam sasriyada tada all those samhatya being assembled cha also anyonyam one another Bhagavat by the personality of Godhead Shakti energy chodita being applied Sat asatvam primarily and secondarily upadaya accepting cha also ubayam both Shasrujam came into existence. He is certainly Ada this universe. Translation. Thus, when all these became assembled by force of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this universe suddenly came into being by accepting both primary and secondary causes of creation. In this verse, it is clearly mentioned that Supreme Personality of Godhead exerts his different energies in the creation. It is not that he himself is transformed into material creation. He expands himself by his different energies, as well as by his plenary portions. In a corner of the spiritual sky of Brahmajyoti, a spiritual cloud sometimes appears, and the covered portion is called Mahatattva. The Lord then, by his plenary portion as Mahavishnu, lies down within the water of the Mahatattva. And the water is called the causal ocean, Karanachala. While Mahavishnu sleeps within the causal ocean, innumerable universes are generated along with his breathing. These universes are floating and they are scattered all over the causal ocean. They stay only during the breathing period of Mahavishnu. In each and every universal globe, the same Mahavishnu enters again as the Bodha Sai Vishnu and lies there on a serpent-like Sesha incarnation. From his navel sprouts a lotus stem, and on lotus Brahma, the Lord of the universe, is born. Brahma creates all forms of living beings of different shapes in terms of different desires within the universe. He also creates the sun, moon, and other demigods. Therefore, the chief engineer of the material creation is the Lord himself, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9.10. It is he only who directs the material nature to produce all sorts of moving and non-moving creation. There are two modes of material creation: the creation of the collective universes as stated above, done by the Mahavishnu, and the creation of the single universe. Both are done by the Lord, and thus the universal shape, as we can see, takes place.
Canto 2, Chapter 5, Text 34. Varshibhuga sahasrane sahasrante tat andam udake shayam kala karma swabhavasto jivo jivam ajivaya. Varshibhuga, many years, sahasra ante, of thousands of years, that andam, the universal globe, udake, in the casual water, Shayam, being drowned, kala, eternal time, karma, action, swabhava, satha, according to the modes of nature, Jivaha, the Lord of the living beings, Ajivam, non-animated, Ajivaya, caused to be animated. Translation. Thus, all the universes remained thousands of aeons within the water, the casual ocean, and the Lord of living beings entering in each of them caused them to be fully animated. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Lord is described here as the Jiva because He is the leader of all other Jivas, living entities. In the Vedas, He is described as the Nitya, the leader of all other Nityas. The Lord's relation with the living entities is like that of the father with the sons. The sons and the father are qualitatively equal, but the father is never the son, nor is the son ever the father who begets. So, as described above, the Lord as the Bhudakasai Vishnu or Hiranyagarbha super soul enters into each and every universe and causes it to be animated by begetting the living entities within the womb of the material nature. As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 14.3, after each annihilation of the material creation, all the living entities are merged into the body of the Lord. And after creation, they are again impregnated within the material energy. In material existence, therefore, the material energy is seemingly the mother of the living entities, and the Lord is the Father. When, however, the animation takes place, the living entities revive their own natural activities under the spell of time and energy, and thus the varieties of living beings are manifested. The Lord, therefore, is ultimately the cause of all animation in the material world.
Text 35, Canto 2, Chapter 5. Sa eva purushastasmadandam nirvidya nirgata sahasrovo shorvo angiri bhav aksha sahasranan sirvasavan Shirshavan. Saw he the Lord, Eva himself, Purusha, the personality, the supreme personality of Godhead, the Smat, from within the universe, Andam, Hiranya, Garbha, Nirvidya, dividing, Nirgata, Amad, Sahasra, thousands, Uru, thighs, Angiri, legs, Bahu, arms, Aksha, eyes, Akshaha, eyes, Sahasra, thousands of, Anana, months, mouths, Shirshavan, with heads also. Translation: the Lord Mahavishnu, although lying in the astral ocean, causal ocean came out of it, and dividing himself as Hiranyagarbha, he entered into each universe and assumed the Virat Rupa, with thousands of legs, arms, mouths, head, etc. Purport: the expansions of the planetary systems within each and every universe are situated in different parts of the Virat Rupa, universal form of the Lord, and they are described as follows. Text 36. Yeah. Yasyeha vaya bailokan albayanti manishina katya adbir Adabir Ada Sapta Saptodlam Jagha Nadibhi
Yasya, whose, Iha, in the universe, Avayayai, by the limbs of the body, Lokan, all the planets, Kalpayandi, imagine, Manishina, great philosophers, Tati Adibi, down from the waist, Adha, downwards, Sapta, 7 systems, Sapta Urdhvam, and the 7 systems upwards, Jagannatabhi, front portion. Translation. Great philosophers imagine that the complete planetary system in the universe are displays of the different upper and lower limbs of the universal body of the Lord.
Translation. Great philosophers imagine that the complete planetary systems in the universe are displays of the different upper and lower limbs of the universal body of the Lord. The word Kalpayanti or imagine is significant. The universal form of the Absolute is an imagination of the speculative philosophers who are unable to adjust the eternal two-handed form of Lord Jesus. Although the universal form, as imagined by the great philosophers, is one of the features of the Lord, it is more or less imaginary. It is said that the 7 upper planetary systems are situated above the waist of the universal form, whereas the lower planetary systems are situated below his waist. The idea impressed herein is that the Lord is conscious of every part of his body, and nowhere in the creation is there anything beyond his control.
Verse 37 and to chapter 5. Pursashyam Brahma Kshatram Yitasya Bahava Urvo Vaisho Bhavaka Padyam Sudro Vijayata Purushasya the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhukam, mouth. Brahma is the Brahmanas. Kshetram, the royal order. Etasya, of him. Bahava, the arms. Urvo, the thighs. Vaishya, or the mercantile men. Bhagavata, the personality of Godhead. Bhagavata, the personality of Godhead. Padbyam, from his legs. Sudra, the laborer class. Vijayata, became manifested. Translation. The Brahmanas represent his mouth. The Kshatriyas his arms. The Vaishyas his thighs. And the Sudras are born of his legs. Purport by Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. All living beings are stated to be the parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. And how they are so is explained in this verse. The 4 divisions of human society, namely the intelligent class, the Brahmanas, the administrative class, the Kshatriyas, the mercantile class, the Vaishyas, and the laborer class, Sudras, are all in different parts of the body of the Lord. As such, no one is different from the Lord. The mouth of the body and the legs of the body are not different constitutionally, but the mouth or the head of the body is qualitatively more important than the legs. At the same time, the mouth, the legs, the arms, and thighs are all component parts of the body. These limbs of the body of the Lord are meant to serve the complete whole. The mouth is meant for speaking and eating. The arms are meant for protection of the body. The legs are meant for carrying the body. And the waist of the body is meant for maintaining the body. The intelligent class in society, therefore, must speak on behalf of the body, as well as accept foodstuff to satisfy the hunger of the body. The hunger of the body is to accept the fruits of sacrifice. The Brahmanas, or the intelligent class, must be very expert in performing such sacrifices, and the subordinate classes must join in such sacrifices. To speak for the Supreme Lord means to glorify the Lord by means of propagating the knowledge of the Lord as it is. protesting the factual nature of the Lord and the factual position of all other parts of the whole body. The Brahmanas therefore are required to know the Vedas, or the ultimate source of knowledge. Veda means knowledge, and Anta means the end of it. According to Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhava. And thus, the end of all knowledge, Vedanta, is to know the Lord, to know our relationship with Him, and to act according to that relationship only. The parts of the body are related to the body. Similarly, the living being must know his relationship with the Lord. The human life is especially meant for this purpose, namely to know the factual relationship of every living being with the Supreme Lord. Without knowing this relationship, the human life is spoiled. The intelligent class of men, the Brahmanas, are therefore especially responsible for broadcasting this knowledge of our relationship with the Lord and leading the general mass of people to the right path. The administrative class is meant for protecting the living being so that they can serve this purpose. The mercantile class is meant for producing food grains and distributing them to the complete human society so that the whole population is given a chance to live comfortably and discharge the duties of human life. The mercantile class is also required to give protection to the cows in order to get sufficient milk and milk products, which alone can give the proper health and intelligence to maintain civilization perfectly meant for knowledge of the ultimate truth. And the lower class, who are neither intelligent nor powerful, can help by physical services to other higher classes and thus be benefited by the cooperation. Therefore, the universe is a complete unit in which relationship with the Lord, and without this relationship with the Lord, the whole human society is disturbed and is without any peace and prosperity. This is confirmed in the Vedas. Brahmano Shamkam Arasit Bahu Rajanya Pita.
Text 38. Bhuloka kalpita padbhyam bhuvarlokosya nagitaha hridasva swarloka urasa mahaloko mahatmanaha. Bhu, the lower planetary systems up to the stratum of the earth. Lokaha, the planets. Kalpitaha, it is so imagined or said. Tadbhyam, out of the legs. Bhuvaha, the upper. Lokaha, the planetary system. Asya, of him, the Lord. Nabitaha, from the navel abdomen. Hrida, by this heart. Swarlokaha, the planetary systems occupied by the demigods. Urasha, by the chest. Urasa, by the chest. Mahalokaha, the planetary system occupied by the great sages and saints. Mahatmanaha, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation. The lower planetary systems up to the limit of the earthly stratum are said to be situated in his legs. The middle planetary systems beginning from Bhuvarloka are situated in his navel, and the still higher planetary systems occupied by the demigods and highly cultured sages and saints are situated in the chest of the Supreme Lord. Purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. There are 14 spheres of planetary systems within this universe. The lower systems are called Bhurloka, the middle systems are called Bhuvarloka, and the higher planetary systems are called Brahmaloka. The higher planetary systems of the universe are called Swarloka, and all of them are situated on the body of the Lord. In other words, no one within this universe is without a relationship with the Lord.
39. Girvayam janalokasya tapoloka sanatpayat Bhutam hi satyalokastu brahmaloka sanatana. Girvayam, up to the neck. Janaloka, the Janaloka planetary system. Asya, of him, Taboloka, the Taboloka planetary system, Sthanadayat, beginning from the breast, Murtabhi, by the head, Satyaloka, the Satyaloka planetary system, 2. But Brahmaloka, the spiritual planets, Sanatana, eternal. Translate. From the front, folded above the chest, up to the neck of the universal form of the Lord, are situated the planetary systems named Janaloka and Taboloka, whereas Satyaloka, the topmost planetary system, is situated on the head of the form. The spiritual planets, however, are eternal. Many times in these pages, we have discussed spiritual planets situated beyond the material sky. And the description is corroborated in this verse. The word Sanatana is significant. This very idea of eternity is expressed in the Bhagavad Gita 8.20, whereas it is said that beyond the material creation is the spiritual sky, where everything is eternal. Sometimes Satyaloka, planet in which Brahma resides, is also called Brahmaloka. The Brahmaloka mentioned here is not the same as the Satyaloka planetary system. This Brahmaloka is eternal, whereas the Satyaloka planetary system is not eternal. And to distinguish between the two, the adjective Sanatana has been used in this case. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, this Brahmaloka is the loka or abode of Brahman, or the Supreme Lord. In the spiritual sky of all planets are as good as the Lord himself. The Lord is all spirit, and his name, fame, glories, qualities, pastimes, etc. are all non-different from him, because he is absolute. As such, the planets in the kingdom of God are all non-different from him. In those planets, there is no difference between the body and the soul, nor is there any influence of time as we experience in the material world. And in addition to there being no influence of time, the planets in Brahmaloka, due to being spiritual, are never annihilated. The all-variedness in the spiritual planets is also one with the Lord, and therefore the Vedic aphorism, Ekam Evadvitiyam, is fully realized in the Sanatana atmosphere of spiritual variegatedness. This material world is only a shadow phantasmagoria of the spiritual kingdom of the Lord. And because it is a shadow, it is never eternal. The variegatedness in the material world of duality, spirit and matter, cannot be compared to that of the spiritual. Because of a poor fund of knowledge, less intelligent persons sometimes mistake the conditions of the shadow world to be equivalent to those of the spiritual world, and thus they mistake the Lord and his pastimes in the material world to be one with the conditioned souls and their activities. The Lord condemns such less intelligent persons in the Bhagavad Gita 9.11.
Avajananti mam muda manusim tanum arshitam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram.
Whenever the Lord incarnates, he does so in his full internal potency, Atma Maya, and less intelligent persons mistake him to be one of the material creations. Srila Sridhara Swami, therefore rightly commenting on this verse, says that Brahmaloka, mentioned here in Vaikuntha, the kingdom of God, which is Sanatana or eternal, and is therefore not exactly like the material creations described above. The Virat, universal form of the Lord, is an imagination of the material world. It has nothing to do with the spiritual world or the kingdom of God.
Text 42-41, ended to chapter 5. Tatyam chatalam kratam Urubyam Vitalam Vibo Janubyam Sudalam Sudam Jankabyam tu Talatalam Mahatalam tu Kulpabyam Prapadabhyam Rasatalam Padalam Padatara Itlokamaya Puman Tat in his Katyam based also Atalam, the first planetary system below the earth. Pluttam situated Urubium on the thighs, Vitalam, the second planetary systems below, Vibo of the Lord, Janubium on the ankles, Sudalam, the third planetary system below, Sudam purified, Jangabium on the points, two but Taratalam, the fourth planetary system below, Mahatalam, the fifth planetary system below, two but Gulpabium, situated on the curves, Prapadabium, on the upper front portion of the feet, Rasatalam, the sixth planetary system below, Patalam, the seventh planetary system below, Padatalata, on the bottom or soles of the feet, it does Lokamaya, full of planetary systems. Puman, the Lord. Translation: My dear son Narada, know from me that there are 7 lower planetary systems out of the total 14. The first planetary system, known as Atala, is situated on the west. Second, Vitala, is situated on the thighs. Third, Sutala, on the knees. The fourth, Thalatala, on the shanks. The fifth, Mahatala, on the ankles. The sixth, Rasatala, on the upper portion of the feet. And the seventh, Patala, on the soles of the feet. Thus, the Virat form of the Lord is full of all planetary systems. Purported by His Divine Grace, is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Modern enterprises, the astronauts who travel in space, may take information from Srimad Bhagavatam that in space there are 14 billions of planetary systems. The situation is calculated from the earthly planetary systems, which is called Gurloka. Above Gurloka is Overloka, and the topmost planetary system is called Satyaloka. These are the upper 7 lokas of planetary systems, and similarly there are 7 lower planetary lokas. All these planetary systems are scattered over the complete universe, which occupies an area of 2 billion times 2 billion square miles. Modern astronauts can travel only a few thousand miles away from the Earth, and therefore their attempt to travel in the sky is something like child's play on the shore of an expansive ocean. The moon is situated in the third status of the upper planetary system, and in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we shall be able to know the distant situation of the various planets scattered over the vast material sky. There are innumerable universes beyond the one in which we are put. All these material universes cover only an insignificant portion of the sky, which is described as above as Sanatana Brahmaloka. The Supreme Lord very kindly invites the intelligent human beings to return home back to Godhead in the following words of Bhagavad Gita 8.16. Abrahmavuna loka
Abrahma bhuvana loka apunararvartino Arjuna mamupaitya tu kanteya punarjanmana vidyate.
Beginning from Satyaloka, the topmost planet of the universe, situated just below the eternal Brahmaloka, as described above, all the planets are material, and one's situation in any of the many material planets is still subject to the laws of material nature, namely birth, death, old age, and disease. But one can get complete liberation from all the above mentioned material pangs When one enters into the eternal Brahmaloka as another atmosphere, the kingdom of God. Therefore, liberation as contemplated by the speculative philosophers and mystics is possible only when one becomes a devotee of the Lord. Anyone who is not a devotee cannot enter into the kingdom of God. Only by attainment of service attitude in the transcendental position can one enter into the kingdom of Godhead. Therefore, the speculative philosophers as well as the mystics must first of all be attracted to the devotional cult before they can factually attain liberation.
Canto 2, Chapter 5, Text 42. Burloka kalpita padbyam bhuvarlokasya nabhita svarloka svarloka kalpito murdna iti baloka kalpana.
Bhurloka, the entire planetary system from the Pathala to the earthly planetary system. Kalpita, imagine. Padhyam, situation on the legs. Bhuvarloka, the Bhuvarloka planetary system. Asya, of the universal form of the Lord. Nabhita, out of the navel abdomen. Swarloka, the higher planetary system, beginning with the heavenly planets. Kalpita, imagine. Murdna, from the chest to the head. Iti, thus. Va, ether. Loka, the planetary systems. Kalpana, imagination. Translation. Others may divide the whole planetary system into three divisions, namely the lower planetary systems on the legs up to the earth, the middle planetary systems on the navel, and the upper planetary systems, Swarloka, from the chest to the head of the Supreme Personality. Quote. The three divisions of the complete planetary systems are here mentioned. 14 are imagined by others, and that is also explained. Thus, N. Bhaktivedanta reports the second canto, 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Cause of All Causes. We are now starting chapter 6, Purusha Sutta confirmed. Next one. Brahmovacha.
Brahmovacha vacham vahanar mukam kshetram chandasham saptadatava havyakavyam vritanam nam jiva sarvarasasya cha. Brahmovacha, Lord Brahma said, Vacham, of the voice, Vahane, of fire, Mukam, mouth, Kshetram, the generating center, the sun, of the Vedic hymns, such as Gayatri, Sapta, 7, Dattava, skin, and 6 other layers, Havya, Kavya, offerings for the demigods and for the forefathers. Amrita, food for human beings. Ananam, of all sorts of foodstuffs. Shiva, the tongue. Sarva, all. Rasasya, of all delicacies. Also. Translation. Lord Rama said, the mouth of the Virat Rupa, the Virat Purusha, the universal form of the Lord, is the generating center of the voice, and the controlling deity is fire. His skin and six other layers are the generating centers of the Vedic hymns, and his tongue is the productive center of different foodstuffs and delicacies for offerings to the demigods, the forefathers, and the general mass of people. But the opulences of the universal form of the Lord are described here. It is said that his mouth is the most generating center of all kinds of voices, and his and its controlling deity is the fire demigod. In his kingdom and other 6 layers of bodily construction are the representative generating centers of the base of the 7 kinds of chemically Gayatri. Gayatri is the beginning of all Vedic mantras, and it is explained in the first volume of Srimad Bhagavatam. Since since the generating centers are the different parts of the universal form of the Lord, and since the form of the Lord is transcendental to the material creation, it is to be understood that the voice, tongue, the skin, etc. suggest that the Lord is in his transcendental form and not without them. It is not without them. The material voice, or the energy of taking in foodstuff, is generated originally from the Lord. Such actions are but perverted reflections of the original reservoirs. The transcendental situation is not without spiritual variegatedness. In spiritual worlds, all the perverted forms of the Lord variegatedness are fully represented in their original spiritual identity. The only difference is that whereas the potencies in the spiritual world are all pure because they are engaged in unalloyed transcendental loving service of the Lord. In the spiritual world, the Lord is the sublime enjoyer of everything, and living entities there are all engaged in his transcendental loving service without any contamination of the modes of material nature. The activities the activities in the spiritual worlds are without any of the inebrities of the material world, but there is no question of impersonal voidness on the spiritual platform. As suggested that impersonal devotional service is defined in another mantra as follows. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparate vena nirmalam Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate.
Originally, since all the senses are produced of the Lord's reservoir of senses, the sensual activities of the material world are to be purified by the process of devotional service. And thus, the perfection of life can be attained simply by purifying the present position of our material activities. The purifying process begins from the stage of being liberated from the conception of different designation. Every living entity is engaged in some sort of service, either for the self, or for the family, or for the society, country, etc. But unfortunately, all such services are rendered due to material attachment. The attachments of the material affinity may be simply changed to the service of the Lord, and thus the treatment of being freed from the material attachment begins automatically. The process of liberation is therefore easier through the devotion service than by any other methods. For in the Bhagavad Gita 12.5 it is said that one is subject to various kinds of tribulation if one is impulsively attached. Teshodi Kataras Tesham Abhyaktasakta Chetasam.
Pandara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Today we read entered Canto 2, Chapter 6, Text 1. Tomorrow we will continue on and read Text 2 and more. We are starting Guru Puja. Hare Krishna. Hope you like the lecture. Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Ram Krishna Ramo Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Shri Guru Charanapana Kevala Bhakti Sarma. Vandamoi Sabadana Mate. Sahara Prasade Bhai Evavatoriya Jai. Shabakti ho jaha hoite. Guru Mukha Padma Padya Chidite Kahiya Kya. Anagari hamare आशा
ભક્તિ જહા હોય તે આવી વિનાશ જશે એતે ગાય હર ચરિતો શ્રી ગુરુ કરુણા સિંધુ આદમાજે મારા બંધુ લોકેરા દીવાના પ્રભુ કૌરલો યદે હમોરે પાદચાયા એટી ગાય સુસુરી ભુવાના પ્રભુ પાર્વતી તપવાના જય પ્રભુપદ જય પ્રભુપદ જય પ્રભુપદ જય પ્રભુપદ જય ગુરુદેવ જય ગુરુદેવ જય ગુરુદેવ જય ગુરુદેવ નમઃ વિષ્ણુપદાય કૃષ્ણપ્રેષ્ઠાય ભૂતલે શ્રીમતે ભક્તિ વેદાંત સ્વામી નિતિ નામિને નમસ્તે સરસ્વતી દેવે ગૌરવાણી પ્રજાનિને નિર્વિશેષ્ય શૂન્યવાદી પશ્યત્યાદિશતારિણે જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ ચૈતન્ય પ્રભુ નિત્યાનંદ શ્રી અદ્વૈત શિવસરી ગોર ભક્તવૃંદ ચૈતન્ય નિત્યાનંદ હરે કૃષ્ણ 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 હરે 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 રામ 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 હરે હરે Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Lotus feet constitution master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotion service. I bowed his lotus feet and with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. I attribute to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him, ecstatic rhythm emanates. By him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of devotees. O Lokanath, O Master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds.